Conservationists are sounding an alarm as hundreds of elephant carcasses are discovered in Botswana in recent months. Debora Patta has that story.
This is deeply troubling. Elephants don't just drop dead for no apparent reason, and yet the cause of this mass die-off remains a mystery. It appears the elephants started dying as early as March, but only came to the attention of conservationists in May.
In May, 169 elephant carcasses were found. By June, that number had risen to over 350, prompting a wave of international concern.
It's a catastrophe. Until we know that this is no longer a danger to that herd, there's the prospect of Botswana's entire herd being decimated.
Conservation Director of National Park Rescue, Dr. Niall McCann, is also worried that this could become a public health crisis.
What I really want to emphasise is that this isn't necessarily just isolated in the elephants. If it's a poison or if it's a disease, the possibility of it spilling over into the human population is very real.
Experts are left with very few clues as to whether the cause of death is something sinister like poisoning or a naturally occurring elephant-specific disease.
Whatever it is affecting the nervous system of these elephants, because you're seeing them dying either very quickly, dropping onto their front, or moving around in a confused manner with some form of neuronal impairment.
Some conservationists are concerned that the Botswana government has been dragging its feet over the investigation. Officials collected samples from the elephants in May, but there are still no results. Botswana's acting director of wildlife and national parks, Cyril Taolo, says they needed to be thorough in their investigation.
We did not want to create any undue alarm. We were more also concerned that we needed to ensure that this was not something that was spreading in the population.
Samples have been sent to labs in South Africa, the US, Canada and Zimbabwe. The Botswana government has ruled out poaching as no tusks have been removed and say they believe the deaths have not spread to any new elephant populations elsewhere in the country.
The government of Botswana hopes to get the lab results within the next week. And while they are deeply concerned about the elephant deaths, they do not believe it is an environmental disaster at this stage, given that they are home to a third of the world's elephants with their 130,000 strong population. Debora Patta, CBS News, Johannesburg, South Africa.